Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily, the first English news program in Poland. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. The electoral campaign ahead of the Polish local elections is entering its final phase, with the first round of voting taking place on October 21st, followed by a runoff on November 4th. The capital city, Warsaw, is the main prize for the taking, and the two main candidates, the liberal Rafał Trzaskowski and the conservative Patryk Jaki, have vastly different strategies to attract voters. The local elections will be the first big contest between the ruling Law and Justice Party and its Europhil Civic Platform opponents since the primary elections in 2015. While the Law and Justice Party is dominating national politics, Civic Platform and its allies still control 15 of Poland's 16 regional assemblies and most of its big cities. According to the polls, Law and Justice has a good chance of winning in the majority of the 16 regional assemblies. The candidates of the Civic Platform Party are running with strategies based on presenting the Law and Justice Party as a threat to Poland's continued membership in the European Union.
We are now ruled by people who simply say that Poland was not independent for the past 30 years and they want to change everything. They want to rewrite the history books. They want to question our place in the European Union.
His conservative rival, Patryk Jaki, argues that Poland shouldn't leave the EU but actively shape its politics. The question is not whether Poland will be in the European Union. The question is what European Union we want to be in. Trzaskowski, however, believes that it's worth playing on Warsaw liberal profile.
Everyone feels European in the city, you know, and to play the anti-European card in the city is not going to galvanize voters and give you much credit.
Patryk Jaki is instead focusing on the large amount of corruption affairs that have been uncovered in Warsaw City Hall while it has been under the control of the Civic Platform Party. We have to prove that the capital of Poland, the capital of our homeland, can be honest and wants to be honest. Warsaw wants to be honest and wants to be ambitious. Trzaskowski's supporters argue that Patryk Jaki is unfit for mayor of Warsaw, as they claim that he represents the ultra-conservative faction of the ruling coalition. As proof, they point to an interview he gave last year in which he stated that stopping Islamization is my Westerplatte, referring to the peninsula where Poland tried to fend off the Nazi invasion that triggered World War II. Jaki has made it clear that if elected, he won't rule the city on an ideological basis, but will focus on practical technocratic tasks, especially on improving the city's public transport. Recent polls suggest that it will be a close race. 10 years ago, Arkadiusz Gołębiewski launched the first edition of a film festival designed to concentrate on the then obscure part of Polish history: the resistance held by the few brave soldiers against the communist state imposed in Poland by the Soviet Russia. A decade later, the topic is well known in present-day Poland. School children know the names. Archaeologists exhume the remains of the heroic soldiers who raised their weapons against the overwhelming communist forces in the name of Polish independence. The 10th edition of the film festival featured 23 documentaries presenting historical characters who, in the second half of the 20th century, opposed the communist regime. It also tells the story of Central Europe forcefully attached to the Soviet bloc and kept there by dictature. This year's focus was on Hungary and the Hungarian Revolution of 1956. Gołębiewski, who came up with the original idea of the event, stressed that all the countries of Central and Eastern Europe experienced similar fate, and this provides an occasion of bonding for all the nations. This is the creation of a lobby of people interested in discovering the past. On the other hand, artists strive to deliver higher quality documentary and historic films. It's easy to notice that year after year, the winners are more professional. As historians, we see that there are more and more filmmakers who are able to use our research for the productions. We've decided that our private relationships could be turned to more professional discussion. We would like to create a place where we invite heroes of the past. Our guests showed that this might be interesting not only to filmmakers, but virtually to anyone. teenagers living in the city of Świętochowice in southern Poland have unveiled a mural painting of the history of the region of Silesia from the 19th century through the three Silesian uprisings against Germany between 1919 to 1921. The mural portrayed the uprisings that cemented Silesia's inclusion in the recreated Polish state. Designed and painted by the collective work of local teenagers who joined hundreds of others across the country to devise murals commemorating the centenary of Poland's regaining its independence, this one has a local Silesian twist. To ensure the quality of the painting, professional artists supervise the volunteers. This mural presents the history of the region and struggle of its inhabitants. For centuries, Silesia lost the institutional connection with the rest of the country it belonged to. It was not until the 19th century when the Polish Silesians joined the national sovereignty movement, creating Polish language press, prayers, and books, as well as the longing for a free, independent Poland. Mural reflects the local Upper Silesia countryside and the longing of its people towards the freedom of Poland. Volleyball is the Polish national game, and for a good reason. Last week, the whole country kept their fingers crossed for the national team who broke into the finals of the World Championship. On Saturday, the Polish players defeated the US team 3-2, progressing to the final against Brazil, the superpower of volleyball. Fans are hopeful as the Polish team has been fighting tooth and nail, featuring great spirit and phenomenal cooperation between players. Credits out to be given to the Belgian coach Vital Heinen, who promised the Polish volleyball fans the World Championship and will hopefully be seen singing along the Polish national anthem while bringing home that promise. That's it for today. See you next time on Poland Daily. But stay tuned for the Poland Daily Weather Report.